Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back at the Artist Coaching Podcast after
Hey.
our 3-week break. And first of
Yeah.
all, I was happy to see so many people actually missing us.
Mm-hmm.
It's the funny thing is I have the same thing with other podcasts that I regularly listen to, and then when they go on a holiday, I'm like, damn, I literally it's
At,
a part of
at
my
least
week.
at least we announced it.
True.
And then you kind of know. So if you're a listener, you know, okay, there's going to be no podcast. I have some podcasts that I follow, and then out of nowhere, they stay away for a month.
Oh,
And then they say, like, yeah, it was busy or something. And I'm like, that's not so nice.
they just ghost
But
you.
I hear more and more people are tuning into our podcast. So all those people that tell me,
Yep.
thank you so much. And we love doing it. Yeah, let's hope we can do it more and more.
Yeah, we have Mikey Foden back in the chat with the first comment. We have Kushagra, we have Gerard Francis, Renzo's here, Ben Singh, Lion Harris, Mr. Joyce is here, Bit3. What's up, everybody? Welcome back.
All the legends.
All the legends, all the diehard supporters. Israel Cardis back in the chat. Hey
Exactly.
everyone, hope you had a great time while we were gone. I hope you enjoyed the episode of Maddox that we uploaded in the meantime on the YouTube channel. And on the podcast stream on Spotify, we did an extra episode. I can't remember which one, but there was an extra one as well. Melodramatic dropped in. What's up, man? Rave, welcome. Looks like this is going to be a fun episode.
Fun episode, man. 15 people already. That's a lot. Thanks, guys, for joining.
Yep.
We missed you as well. And we really do recognize a lot of you guys' names. And we always appreciate it when you comment or have questions. And it just gets us going because I never prepare.
Yeah, so let's start
Joey
there.
does.
Well, sometimes because Renzo always sends me preparation, so that he's kind of researches all the topics that has been going on lately, and then I can go from there. But let's just ask chat for now. Like, what happened in the past 3 weeks? Like, obviously Tomorrowland, and obviously we're going to talk about that. But is there anything that
Specific
happened?
question, like right now, that off the top of your head.
Something you feel like needs to be talked about. But first, Jay, how has your past 3 weeks been? You weren't on holiday, right?
I was not on holiday. I did enjoy the podcast off. No, it's funny. Like I kind of missed it, but also it does free up a lot of time because it's that Wednesday afternoon. And usually
It's just an hour.
do the podcast and then but it's an hour. So like you have lunch, then the podcast is coming. So you're kind of like working towards that. So not really getting anything done. And then after it's like, oh shit, I have so much to do, but I have only like 2-3 hours left. So it is nice to have a few days off, but I missed it and now I'm happy it's back. And in the meantime, I did find a new, very productive way of working.
AI?
Well, AI is amazing.
Yeah.
Basically, this is already, I AI'd myself. Look.
Yeah, it's not me.
No, I have a very good tactic that I use now when it comes to getting to the studio and working. What I do, and it's kind of because there's a new guy here, so Tom and James are not in this building anymore. And
really? Did they leave?
Yeah. Rainer makes music on Instagram. You can find him. He's a really good, mostly tech house producer.
Rainer, like
Why? Yeah, he used to do programming for a lot of big festivals like Mysteryland and stuff, and he's now full-time producing. He's really good as well. But we were talking about like creativity and working, and then we had this thing about how Skrillex and those guys like Fred again, what they do is they put timers of 30 minutes, put an idea in, and then go to the next idea. 30 minutes, put an idea in, go to the next idea, and then in the afternoon, like that, you can do that in the morning, and then you can, hey, which one do I still feel? I'm going to continue that one. So I kind of modified it to where I make it work because I always have a lot of stuff I want to do, have to get done, like administration stuff, and it kind of lacked. I kind of lacked a good amount of ideas. So for new songs, let's say, I have a new tactic since the holiday. So it's good that we had a little break. I As soon as I get to the studio, of course I'm gonna get a cup of coffee, and I'm still very thankful for coffee. Just that's a whole different thing. But I get to the studio and I have to, before I do anything else, 30 minutes, I have to make an idea. It doesn't matter if it's just a melody, if it's one chord, if it's a sound I found, just a little idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that I've been making so many ideas, like every day, at least one. And a lot of them are actually good. And some of them are obviously shit, or like you find a cool synth that you can use. But this is like for all the producers, because sometimes you get overwhelmed with all the stuff you need to finish, and especially when you have kids or you have a job. But give yourself this: as soon as you get to your studio, maybe that's in your house, first half hour, you can always clean out a half hour of your day. Otherwise, I don't think you're really dedicated to this craft. um, do that. Make one idea without any boundaries, doesn't matter, and you will find that like there's no pressure and you can just create. Just a time pressure, but that puts you in a, it doesn't matter what comes out, and
Dude,
that gives you such freedom. And it's, you can see I'm like reborn.
I can see you're reborn, but I can also notice that you are not paying attention. We have been doing a 1 month challenge where you had to make 30 minutes of music every day and
Yep.
throw out IDs. Like,
Yep.
people have come to me saying, dude, this is the life hack of the year.
Yeah, it is. But it's one of those things where you have to fit into your schedule, and you always think like, oh, but my schedule is this and this. And now I figured, like, because
Yeah.
I'm not here every day. Like, I don't work like 5 days a week. I work 4 days a week, and sometimes I go in the evenings. But when I go, I have to. This is the main difference, I guess. Not a half an hour a day somewhere. No, the first half hour right
Yeah,
away
let's get
before
it
I
out.
think of all the shit that still needs to be done. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's really boring administrative stuff, or my emails piling up. One idea, half an hour.
Yeah,
That's
that's a good
all.
tip.
Normally, I have coffee here. I talk. No, now it's half an hour of, and that is kind of the. I took that concept, which isn't a new concept, but I put it into my schedule, and I
Yeah,
think find something like that.
good one.
Can
By
open
the way,
doors.
Mr. Melodramatic dropped another $50 as a
Wow,
donation in the chat. Thanks, man. Thanks
it's appreciate it, man.
for the continuous support. Thanks for being here every week. And I happen to know that Melodramatic does kind of the same thing as you're mentioning, Jay. He does, I believe, even less, like 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, because that fits in his schedule. And he
Yeah,
has been
exactly.
dropping demo after demo after demo, and they all hit. So it's fun to see that putting on pressure and putting some sort of deadline also helps in creativity. And it's fun
Yep.
to see that it helps so many people. Renzo also mentions that we need to redo the
It's
challenge again. So yeah, that's a
It's
good
a good
idea.
one. Yeah, because it's like the expectation thing. There's pressure without expectation.
Mm-hmm.
So there's pressure to do something, but no expectation of the result, and that makes that you do not care at all what you end up with at the half an hour, and that's how you really create. It's
Yeah.
like the balance of, you still have to do it, but whatever you do, it's fine,
Yeah.
and that's a huge weight off your shoulders as well. There's nothing needs to come out.
Yeah, true. Because when you create, you ultimately want to create as a kid, as in no boundaries, just pure creativity. And the older you get, the harder that gets. And
Yeah.
then when there's no expectation, you kind of leave out the boundaries. It's more like just
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
fun, right?
Yeah, and I
Um,
think also it's for me, a big problem is probably the lack of ideas or starting of ideas, because
mhm.
usually it takes like 10 ideas to get one good one. So 10
Yeah,
starts of a song, and then there's one that has potential to maybe be released. So you figure then if you make 20, you have more chance. If you make 30, and it's all little ideas, and sometimes it's a chord progression that catches you and you just have a full song the next day.
yeah,
And sometimes it's a sound that's cool. You can use in another project. There's so many. It opens doors.
yeah.
So
True.
yeah.
One thing I got confronted with again because I went on a holiday for. I've been in Italy for 2 weeks, and I spent 1 week at home. And then coming back from being away, and then coming back to work. Well, not even that. Like being away in Italy and then coming back to the Netherlands and trying to find your rhythm again, dude. It, it's it's so hard. Like it's so tempting to say, nah, I'll just skip the workout or whatever. Or like and before you go on a holiday, it's such an automatic pilot and it's so easy to do all these things. And then you come back and you're like, I don't know. And then the bar to get over it and to really go to the gym or to do the thing you want to do has just become, it feels like it has become so much higher.
Are you afraid of like that it will hurt more or
No,
just
it's
be
more
more
like
difficult again? Or?
it's really like um, yeah, how do you say it? Like it's the famous thing we all have is that we all want things to do. We all know what to do, but we don't do it because of many reasons. And because I've built systems in my life, it has become much easier for me to just be consistent in all those things because there is a pattern every week, and because my life is boring, which I'm writing a book about and is finished, by the way.
Hey,
But because those systems are in place, it's just easy for me to maintain that schedule and to just go to the gym whenever it's scheduled and to do this whenever it's scheduled and all these things. And then when you break that cycle for just 1 or 2 weeks, the whole thing goes to shit. If you're
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah,
getting back into that system like directly.
yeah,
So for me, like I went back in directly, but I did notice the the resistance. I did notice like I don't want to. I don't know. And
yeah, yeah,
before
yeah.
holiday, that whole resistance wasn't there. It was just like, okay, let's just do the thing I always do. Um, so yeah, it's just insane to me to see that writing about it. I know how it works, and still you experience it yourself.
It's yeah. I always like to think of it as the stuff. There's a lot of feelings you're gonna have. You
Mhm.
cannot control them. I'm convinced you cannot control how you feel about something, but just how you deal with that feeling. So like you want to go to the gym, you wake up, you don't feel like going to the gym. That feeling is there. I
Yeah,
think with everyone. I
yeah,
think with everybody has that some not always, but sometimes. But you
yeah.
you only have one thing. You're gonna feel that, but you have to react to it without yeah your feeling, and
You kind
that's
of have to
that's that's
ignore it
difficult.
because
Yeah,
if
yeah,
if you
yeah,
listen to it, you probably won't go because you feel like
yeah.
I don't feel like going for
Hmm.
XYZ.
Yeah,
But you just know that you want to achieve that thing, going
yeah,
to the gym or doing that project or finishing this or finishing that, because finishing that project or going to the gym gives you the feeling that you're looking for, and it puts you into the direction that you want to go in. It puts you closer to the goal that you're working towards. So it's just that continuous struggle that human beings have with not being lazy, stop procrastinating, doing the
yeah,
things you want
yeah.
to do. And it's just so fun and weird at the same time for me to realize again that even I
Yeah,
know all these things,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
still
yeah,
there,
yeah.
even, yeah, you still struggle with it. So
I think it's also we're habit creatures. So then when you
that's
break
me,
that
man.
habit, it's very, I think everybody
Yeah.
in like most of the foundation are want to have habits, but then when you break that, it's like it's kind of like you feel like it's so hard to set up that habit again,
Mhm.
and because you feel like you've lost some progress, and then you need to go back to a place where it's like in a career, a lot of people struggle when they like get big and then get small again, and they have to take less fee, less bigger shows, there's less crowds,
Less
and
shows in
that's
general.
you people hate that because you feel like you take a step back. um but yeah, I think that also has to do with like some kind of like being grateful.
Mhm.
Same with the workouts. I once had my shoulder
Wrecked.
how do you say, yeah, how do you say, like when it
Injured.
out of the socket, or
Yeah, out of the socket, out of the
out of the socket,
pocket.
I think.
Yeah.
Dislocated shoulder. You can't do anything with the shoulder for 4 weeks, so I couldn't go to the gym. And after that, then I was going like a lot before that, and then I realized like, oh, I'm so now sometimes I remind myself, like, I'm so grateful that I get to go,
Mm-hmm.
because there's people recovering from injury that cannot work out, have to, it's yeah, kind of the thing, grateful to
True.
be grateful for many things as well.
True. By the way, people in the chat, I haven't seen anything coming by of what happened in the past 3 weeks. So make sure to give some updates, something that's mentionable to you, something that kept you awake at night. And we'll check if it's not in the program already. Jay, let's talk about Tomorrowland, because that has been the biggest event
Yeah,
probably for the year, and we were
yeah,
gone. so let's
we were there.
let's cover that. I know obviously Ralph was there because they played there, I think,
Yeah,
twice.
shame. Ralph is on holiday now,
Yeah.
so he's not here. People were asking where was Ralph. He's on holiday, so yeah, that connection is. He was trying, but the connection isn't great. So
Oh, really?
yeah, he will be there probably next week or the next week.
Yeah.
Um,
It,
yeah, but Tomorrowland, of course, the big story was that the stage burned down.
yeah, that was
That
sick.
was world news.
I had quite a few clients in my inbox, and I did check my inbox online because I was like, okay, this needs my attention, because
Yeah,
some people had to play there and they were like, what the actual fuck, like
yeah, yeah,
it messes with their brain if you have preparation for, as Ralph also said, like months, preparations
yeah,
for months,
yeah.
and then suddenly everything stops, and then you only get to know if it continues like hours before your show. It's super stressful. So
Very much.
yeah, so I had like a small moment where I had to be there during the holiday, but yeah, it's insane, man. It's
Yeah.
was insane to follow from a distance.
Yeah, it must really suck if you were playing the main stage for the first time. And of course, this sucks for the organization the most,
Yeah.
and probably the crowd that was so excited. But the organization is like, they put so much work into this, and then
Mm-hmm.
it burns down. But if you're an artist that's playing there, and like you said, you're probably preparing for multiple months, there is definitely part of you that's also thinking, like, first of all, probably everybody thinks, thank God no one got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
What a shame for the organization. But if you're playing and for the first time, you're also really thinking, like, oh man, this messes my whole plan up and my
Kind of like a
dreams, and like,
breakthrough moment for some artists.
yeah, and that must be just difficult, because that's a lot of, yeah, things to think about, but I
Yeah.
I, I think mostly everybody should really quickly realize, thank God no one got hurt,
Mm-hmm.
because with all the fireworks it could have really been like worse,
And it's pretty insane that it happened before the festival and not like,
and that,
phew.
I mean,
Imagine
that's
happening
like
that.
when that ceiling collapsed. That was also a few years back at Tomorrowland.
Oh, really?
The ceiling with the whole production collapsed in the week in between the weekends. So, like, yeah,
That's
thank
sick.
God no one got hurt.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think, talking about resilience, Tomorrowland, man, the organization, like, wow, like, that what they immediately switched. You have to really, even like, that's like, it looks like a basic production, but that's a big ass LED screen, that's a big ass sound system, that all has to be found within 2 days,
Yeah.
and they got it done.
Has
And
to
I
be
think that's,
implemented.
yeah, and I mean, that has to, that just, it's yeah, much respect
Yeah.
for the organization, and to, you can't really mourn too long, like, oh no, our stage, because the next hour they were probably already planning for what are we going to do.
Yeah, but also what about
um
all those people boarding planes to come here, right? Like the people were
yeah,
already on their way, literally, to come to the festival of their life for some people.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and it's just insane to think about all the stress that comes in and all the decisions that you have to make. So it's great to see how they worked on it. I must
Yeah,
say that I kind of instantly also thought like, okay, this also brings some sort of opportunity because you could re-market it as it's all about the music and about being here with each
yeah,
other, which already is something that Tomorrowland also
mhm.
markets itself around. So they really did a great job there, and
Definitely.
yeah, got the whole thing back up again. One
And
of
part of part of the crowd. I mean, this, don't take this out of context in a clip or whatever, but it also must suck if you're like the second weekend attending it and you're like, oh, first time Tomorrowland, and you're so excited to be impressed by a big main stage. And I think you're still impressed by all the crowd there in that location, but you're missing out a bit. So I
Yeah.
think,
But at the same time, you can also say that you were there at the one where the main stage got in fire.
yeah, but I think the first weekend you're like, oh my God, yes, it's still happening. Wow. And the second
Yeah.
weekend you're kind of like, yeah, well, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, yeah, just part of it must suck as well. But
And you know what I also heard from a lot of those main stage DJs, which who mentioned Ben Singh in the chat mentioned it as well. I heard this as well, quite a lot actually. That a lot of the main stage DJs really loved the stage because it was so close to the audience. Because
yeah,
it was kind of, it was not that high. It was super close to the audience, where normally you're slightly higher, you're more to the back. So there's a lot of distance. And now you were really old school, like in front of the stage, like in front of the crowd. And that was something a lot of artists loved as well.
I can imagine, yeah. Also, David Guetta, if you're listening, of course, you're a weekly listener. Don't say I want to see this place on fire after 2 days ago the main stage
Dude.
burnt down, man. Come on.
I just love that clip because he probably didn't mean it at
He
all, but
didn't
it's just
realize.
it
He's
was
just
just
like
like
so excited. It's
Yeah.
amazing. He's so excited to just playing, and that's what he says a lot of his shows.
Yeah.
And then like after, he probably laughed so hard.
I want to
and
see this
the
whole
whole
place
production
on
group.
fire.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I laughed when I saw it, but
amazing.
yeah, and indeed,
I
it's
want to
amazing.
see this place on fire. With
So
his
great.
accent, I love it, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. One of the questions I also got, which I wanted to run by you, and I can give an answer as well, is from like, how do you get to play at Tomorrowland? Because a lot of artists always wonder, like, how do you get on a stage like that, or how do you get on a flyer like that? Because there's 1,000 parties out there, but how do you get booked on a party like that?
Well, according to Deadmau5, don't take less than a considerable amount of fee. Stick to your artistic. No. That's last year.
He'll come at you.
We went viral. If you're listening, we went viral on Instagram, and Deadmau5 was commenting that we were wrong about.
You were wrong.
Whatever. I was wrong. And I was a tool. Blah blah blah. I was pretty honored that Deadmau5
Yeah.
said that, man. No. How to get to Tomorrowland is either be so popular that the scene can't really go around you, so everybody's kind of like agreeing, yeah, that artist should be there. Yeah, this in this scenario, you've already like kind of made it, or has made some hits and some connections, and you probably already have an agent. That's one of the ways, I think. Whoa, I don't really know what's the other way now that I'm thinking of it. You already need to be a bit established.
Yeah, but at the same time, the other option would be that you're part of a certain label, agency, management who has connections with people of Tomorrowland or whatever. Because sometimes it's also like, we'll grant you the favor because you might not be the biggest artist yet, but we do see some potential.
Yeah, but then you're in a way already a bit established.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I was
some connection.
I kind of feel like back in the day I was one of those people, as in I was doing okay, you know, like I had some momentum going on, and I was already touring. I had a good agent, but I kind of feel like that agent was the push, as in the fact that I was signed with Anna and was working with Hardway and stuff. That was kind of the push. So I think there's multiple ways to get to Tomorrowland. But if you want to play in the main stage, I would say popularity and being the hype of the moment is kind of the key.
Plus those connections, because there's some artists on the main stage that are given a chance because they're not really main stage material just yet, but the agents and Tomorrowland thinks, hey, they have what it takes.
Yeah.
So to be part of that. But I do think like having an agent, this doesn't mean you need an agent right away. It just means you need to be at the level where you would already have an agent, I think. But in this case, it is very important. I think I also got booked because I had a name, but also the agency had the
Yeah,
connections.
it's kind of the same.
So it's I think that goes for a lot. There are some things like I think the JBL stage. We're not sponsored, but JBL, if you're listening, we would love to
Reach out.
sponsor. But they did do a lot of programs. I think also with Martin Garrix, where they have young talent and they fly them out to. I think in this case like Stamped Studios or Tomorrowland, and they do studio sessions and have this stage especially for those upcoming artists, and they're I'm talking like really like small artists. So there's that stuff as well, and I think that's awesome, and that's a chance as well. Look into that if you want to
Yeah.
play
I also
Tomorrowland.
had one client, Esther from New York. He was part of the Wall Academy this year on Tomorrowland.
Oh, Afrojack's doing a lot
Yeah,
as well.
that
Yeah,
was pretty insane, man.
yeah,
He showed me what all the opportunities that he got, and he got like on stage with Afrojack to just experience how it is, and he had like one-on-one sessions with Afrojack in his studio, and like
yeah.
it's pretty insane, like it's pretty life-changing experience for him. So
It's huge,
yeah,
It's what Afrojack's doing is really really cool, and he's really pushing them and taking them under his wing. That's
yeah,
you got to respect that. It's awesome.
exactly. Is there anything else? Like there was this thing with I think it was Dimitri Vegas and Nico Moreno. Is that him?
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Nico Moreno, right?
Yeah, Nico Moreno played a remix of. I actually I talked to Marlon from Bass Checkers about this.
Oh, really?
This is really funny because Marlon and me saw that on our own, not together, and then we instantly thought of the exact same moment where. So what happened in the video? Nico Moreno plays a remix that is the remix of Dimitri Vegas, and Dimitri Vegas is supposed to play right after him. So he's looking at Nico Moreno like, dude, do you realize this is my remix?
But
And
that
after they
camera
made
action was
it was
insane.
the camera guy knew. He's like,
Like, oh
and
shit.
he zoomed in on
Yeah,
Dimitri Vegas, and he's like looking at his crew and some of
yeah,
those guys, and they're all like, kind of like, yeah, well, this is happening.
yeah.
And in the end, it wasn't a big deal. But it brought Marlon and me to this moment where we were playing. I think it was Creamfields, Brazil,
Hmm.
and I was playing before Marlon. So Marlon was like the bigger act, and I was playing before him, and I played this mashup that I got online somewhere. Some didn't say anything on it, like it was just mashup those songs. And Marlon comes up to me, and he's like the most angry face I've ever seen from him, because he's always very funny, happy guy, and he's like, "Dude, that's my mashup. That's our man." And like he was so angry, and I was like, I really got like a fright. I was like, holy shit, I have to mix this out, and like really got scared. Um, Turns out they did make that mashup, but someone from online somewhere remade it and didn't put the bass checkers name anymore. So
Ah,
it's like, and back in the day, I think mashups were kind of like
more
almost like a
special.
signature in the sets and
Yeah.
like some secret weapons. And if you then made the mashup, you but it was funny because Marlon sent me a voice note like, "Hey man, remember Brazil in like 2015 or something?" Like, so we had the thing, and then we were like talking about it because it is kind of an unwritten rule that you don't play the songs of the one that's coming after you on
Hmm.
the entire lineup, actually. And then we were like, "Is that still a thing?" Because I also think the crowd maybe cares less, or maybe they never cared, because in the scene it's kind of a thing. It's really not done to
Yeah.
play someone else's songs right before them, but the crowd usually doesn't even notice or doesn't
No,
even
but it's
care.
more a gentleman's agreement, I would say. It's more
Yeah, but that
between
only for the
artists.
between the artists. Yeah,
Yeah.
so then that's why also in the end I think Dimitri Vegas was like, "Hey man, this is not a big deal." He was just like, "Oh, a bit at the moment a bit
Yeah.
shocked," but it's funny how, yeah, I've also had this once in Poland when Wizard was just a big hit, was just big, and I walk into the club and the DJ before me we were already like backstage, and I hear like him play Wizard, and I'm like, I walk up to him, I'm like, hey, this is my song, right? And because I was obviously like, dude, you shouldn't play this because, and he's like, yeah, he was like very happy and
Very
excited because he was
proud.
like, yeah, I'm hyping them up for you, and then I was like, okay, whatever,
Yeah.
like the crowd doesn't really give a shit anyways. And yeah, but that, I think it's still a thing. But I think it also depends on, I mean, this is a remix where you can also maybe have a different mashup of it without the name of Dimitri Vegas on it. So you couldn't have known.
Yeah.
And it's different when it's like someone's actual huge hit. So if I play before Martin Garrix and I play Wizard, or I play Animals, I mean, then it's going to be like, dude, what are you doing? Because that's one of his main hits. And I think that then it becomes a bit different.
True.
But yeah, with a remix like this, the crowd doesn't even care or doesn't even notice, or they just love it so much because it comes on again.
Yeah, they want to hear it again. Yeah. Yeah. So overall, I think Tomorrowland was a great event. They managed to pull it off again. Heard a lot of positive comments from almost everybody. So hats off.
I mean, they're such a lovely
and
team to work with.
Once Ralph is back next week, I think he's back next week, we will talk with him about his experiences because he was there. So
sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Cool. As always, we take on questions which you can send into our Discord. Every week we answer questions that people send in there. So if you have a question for us, you can leave it there during the whole week and we will just go through them in this episode. So the link's in the bio, by the way. So if you want to send it in, click it right there. And by the way, while you're there, why not just join the community as well? Because there's there's over 600 people there. So why not join? It's a fun place. And by the way, I also noticed that we're almost reaching 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Wow.
So almost quadruple digits.
We got to get one of these.
Yeah, exactly. Like a plaque.
A plaque. This is the old plaque.
The old plaque.
000.
Yeah.
There.
Let's go on to the questions. Yeah, the first one I honestly didn't really understand, so I'll just skip that for now. Bit 3. My question: I live in a country where a lot of small businesses are getting fucked up. As a music entrepreneur, what kind of tactics will you implement if the government takes at least 50% of what you make on taxes?
Oh, you live in Holland?
I was just thinking like, oh, you live in Holland. Nice.
You live in Holland. Well, yeah, welcome, man.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, you just have to pay taxes. And if you want to have some smart ways, I would recommend talking to an accountant or something. There are smart ways to pay less probably, but always do it legally. Never do dumb things because it's just not the smart thing to do.
I like the idea of taxes, and I think in Holland we have some very good like education systems and healthcare systems because of it. And I also always think if you pay a lot of tax, you also make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't get, of course, too crazy. But that's why Joey said there is ways to. Not per se like, oh, you want to keep as much money or pay as little tax, but you also want to be able to invest. And if you have a good accountant, you can invest your money into your career before it's even taxed.
Yeah,
but accountants,
talk to someone who knows more about this. But yeah, whatever you do it legally.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
Question from Josh. Missed these podcasts. Glad to have them back. Curious to know what you guys thought of the Dimitri Vegas and Nico Moreno drama. If it was staged. I know Dimitri is a genius when it comes to marketing, so I thought this could be a tactic to get his remix massive publicity.
I mean, he played it well, I think, with the video after explaining it. But that reaction of him, that face, that he needs to be easy. He is an actor, to be honest. He has been in some Hollywood movies.
Oh, really?
But you need to be a really good actor to act that, because that wasn't staged, I think.
I don't think either. I think, it just
I think they
happened.
should pay the cameraman. Like he needs a raise.
That kind of felt staged, though. That the fact that the cameraman was having him in
Yeah, but he
sight.
knows. He knows. So he's like, he's searching for it, you know? Like, he's searching for special moments. And like, I can see how your cameraman, like, hey, wait, I know the lineup, because they have the lineup in their schedule. And they're like, wait a minute.
I sure hope so.
So,
Um, I think those were the questions in the Discord already. I guess nobody sent them in because we were on a
nothing
holiday.
from before as well?
No, we all answered them in the last episode. I see someone's typing right now. But if you have a question, please send it in right now, because this is the time where we can answer them. Jamie Strife in the chat is asking, how was the studio session with Andrew J?
Oh, we made a hit.
Who's
we
Andrew?
made a banger.
Which Andrew?
Andrew A. Andrew A is a producer who also played Tomorrowland. He's from Australia. Super talented. I know he listens to the podcast also. Otherwise, I would not be as nice, you know. No, super talented and very friendly. And he was in Holland, so he hit me up and he was like, "Hey, let's hit the studio." And yesterday we made something that is huge. We found a very cool idea, because this is how it happened. We had lunch. Then normally, if you have a collab, you're like, "Hey, what are you working on? What are you working on?" You're gonna listen, and then you're 2 hours further, and then you haven't really worked. What I did, I said, "Hey, man, I have this new tactic. Before we begin, we're gonna make an idea, 30 minutes, and then we're gonna listen to what we each other are working on." And guess which idea not finished, but like let's say 60% finished, and it's like a really good demo. That idea that we made in that half hour. So yeah.
Okay.
Even for collabs, guys, just do that. Make something new before you begin anything. Even all your prepared shit, leave it. Start something new, because I do believe in, like, when there's people in a room together, there's something that, because you're together, comes out. So I hear different things, different ideas in my head when someone is here, if that makes sense. It's all influenced by who you're in the studio with.
That makes sense.
That's why if someone only adds one line or one hi-hat, but he's been there the entire time, he still deserves the full writing credits. If you don't think so, get that person out of the studio before you work on something.
Yeah.
Just want to say,
Better
it's not
safe than
just the
sorry.
hi-hat someone added. It's also the being there, being present.
The energy.
Something about their energy changed something in the way you think about something.
True.
So very important.
There's a question from the Null R. Yeah. I hope this question makes it in time. When you as an artist write, produce, and release a new song or album, do you register it as a new creative work in the intellectual property register, like BOIP.international in the Benelux, to protect it? Yes, in the Netherlands you have Buma Stemra, where you...
No, that's different.
What do you mean?
He's talking about trademarking it. So
intellectual property.
Intellectual property, like a trademark. So if you have a brand, like J Hardway is trademarked, and it's like that. With songs, I don't think it's possible.
I don't think
a lot of the
it's more like a brand name, right?
It's for brand names. Yeah, but that's what he means. Like the BOIP is for trademarks, and that's the intellectual property. So that's what you would. J Hardway is a name that is a trademark. But
exactly.
a song that I made cannot be a trademark, because if my song is named Pictures, it's not going to be big enough of a brand. They will say, "Hey, Pictures, that's just the word everybody uses."
Yeah.
So it can't be a brand. If you think of something really good and you want to make merch of it and you want to make a TV series of it, and has the, I don't know, onderscheidend vermogen is the Dutch word.
Separential difference.
Yeah. Vermogen Engels. Let me see. Distinctive character. So that's basically a bunch of words together that no one else really did before or in a smart way. Then you could do that. But I think for a song, Maybe an album. It could work. Definitely, because you
Yeah.
want to do merch. But yeah.
But overall, when it comes down to songs, they do get registered, but just not at the BOIP, but more at Buma
Yeah.
Stemra and stuff, where you register your songs and you have your intellectual property registered as well. Question
Yeah.
from Job. What is your best advice for social media as a music producer?
Delete it.
Stupid advice.
Delete social media. So that's my advice. As a
Stupid
music
advice.
producer,
You
no,
need.
no, wait. Let me finish.
Okay.
As a music producer, your goal is to produce music. You don't need no social media. You should not think about social media. You should not worry about social media. Worry about the music. If you want to be an artist, music production is part of being an artist. So then we get to what's being part of an artist. Is social media part of being an artist? Yes, I think so, because it's a way to express yourself.
And to
Um,
reach an audience, right? To build a fan
and to
base.
reach an audience. Yes, but I'm of course a bit how do you say, pulling your leg or pulling that guy's leg. I think before anything, you need good music. You need to focus on perfecting that. Focus on music. But that's how I make music. But then you want an audience, and then what I think is really important, and I do listen, Joey, because I think that's what we always say. It has to be authentic, and authentic means that would you be able to identify it? Because people will kind of see through it if it's not. So if you're faking it, people eventually will see through it, or you might make it, but you will feel miserable. Um, do the stuff that you like, search what others do, and you can spin that a bit. You can do your own version of it. So like, hey, someone used their song when they went skateboarding. Then you're like, I want to do that. I'm going to go skateboarding, but I don't really like skateboarding. So you go and bike and use your song. It's just, maybe this is a bad example, but then you make it more authentic to you, and it's kind of taking inspiration and
Yeah.
doing that. But authenticity and liking it, actually having I think that's so important, because that's even in an edit, if you like the stuff you're making, that will be translated to the audience or
Yeah.
something.
As you said, authenticity is the most important ingredient. You need to be yourself and do things that make you that feel comfortable to you. At the same time, consistency is important. It's not like drop one post a week and then not be there for 4 weeks. You should be active. Also, think about taking people onto your journey. So show people what you're doing right now, not what you've been doing or where you've been
Yeah.
going, but what you're doing right now, and show them this is where I want to go and this is what I'm doing right now in order to get there. So take people into your studio, share what type of things interest you, what type of things you like watching in your spare time, for example. And one practical tip that I heard last week, which I think was great in regards to creating content, was treat social media like you're talking on FaceTime, as in you're not talking to an audience, you're talking to a person. So talk to someone directly in a person and not to a whole group of persons, but just like on FaceTime, you're just talking to a friend. Super authentic, just how you are as a person. That's how you create content these days. Yeah, and
And if
then
it's not you, to try to find another way to translate what you want to say.
yeah, but you can even do it
Because
if you don't like being on a camera. Do voiceovers so that people
yeah,
can still.
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. So you
Yeah,
can make like a nice B-roll footage of you walking in the forest.
yeah, and then they still
Uh,
hear your voice and they
yep,
still get a
yep,
clue of who you are, because
yep.
eventually your fans need to figure out what type of person you are and whether they like you or they don't. Because if they do like you, they might become a fan, and if they don't, they're not, and that's okay, because not everyone will be a fan. So you need to give them enough information to know what type of person you are, and that's what you do by sharing content about your personality, about who you are.
And stop treating that's, I think, a trend also right now, where people are picking up on it. Stop treating social, or maybe you're not doing that, I'm not saying that, but stop treating social media as linear, or chronologically ordered. And what I mean by that is, a song that you made 4 years ago can go viral now. It can suddenly be good. It can suddenly be picked up. A post that you made a year ago can also suddenly pop up in the algorithm, which means it's like you don't have to focus on, oh, that song, I just already released it. It has no use making any content with it. Why not? Just do it.
Yeah.
There's always room for that, and no one really looks at it anymore like, oh, when did you release this song? This came out last year. Why do you no? People
No.
just like will discover it because they may not even have heard the song,
Yeah.
and like, oh, this has been out for a year, and like I didn't hear it. This is awesome. And that changed, I think, because it used to be, hey Jay, you already released a song a month ago, to like, oh wow, I'm happy it's out. So
Yeah.
it's like the perception of people changes.
True.
And there was a very smart guy who said that. He used very difficult words for it, and Ralph shared that video.
I
And
shared
I
it.
had a bit of a laugh
I
because it was
shared it.
like
It
some.
says Russ.
You shared it.
It's actually a good
Huh?
one. I'll share this clip of the
It's a
week.
good. It's
Yeah.
good what he's saying, but he's trying to sound too smart. I think he's also like very much has that kind of like success bias. So he's kind of like, I did it this way, so this works.
Okay.
Yeah, it can work.
Let me
Yeah,
share.
maybe we should. Maybe that's the clip of the week.
Yeah, that's the clip of it.
But there's
It's
a few
quite long.
things. There's a few things that I have an issue with. But go ahead.
Okay, let me find. It's quite long, but it's. I thought it was very well said. So let's put it on here. Okay, wait, share. Wait, we have
Community
question. Yeah, no, we have this.
Oh,
Clip of the week.
Oh, wait.
hey!
It didn't come through correctly, right? Like I missed the first part. You too?
No, I clip of the week.
Oh, okay, perfect. So this is the clip of the week. Just as questions, you can always send us clips as well, which we can talk about. So this is one of the clips we liked and popped up the discussion in our group chat. So I'm just going to show you this clip and hear what you guys think of it. Where are you? Here we are.
Volume warning, maybe?
Yeah, maybe volume trigger. I'll put it here.
Emotional recency defeats chronological recency. What I mean by that is artists, post your fucking song, okay? I put out 315 4 years ago. It's platinum. It has damn near 1 billion streams. Every time I post it, at least one person says, what song is this? Too many artists think everyone has seen this. I've posted it enough. Wrong. The internet is not linear. Fans don't live on your profile. They see you in passing. We see every post we make. Our audience does not. And the audience that we're yet to have does not. Every day somebody hits me up and says, yo, I just discovered your music for the first time. To me, that's crazy, but I love it because that means growth. There are really no such thing as old songs. There are just songs that you haven't heard of yet and songs that you have heard of. If I discover a song right now that came out 10 years ago, but I hear it for the first time right now, the emotional recency of it completely overrides the chronological recency. That shit is fire right now, and it hit me today. I don't care if it came out 10 years ago. It didn't hit me till today. So I love it. And I'm now a fan of you. Now I'm going to check out the rest. And so it's like, part of making music, if you want to be heard and if you want to get your stuff out there, part of your job, if that's your goal, is you have to constantly reintroduce yourself. That's it.
He's totally right.
Mic drop.
He's totally right. But like the recency thing, like maybe I'm too non-English.
Yeah, it's tough language.
Native speaker to understand, dude. It's not that deep, bro. But also, it's a bit like the assumption, and that's what Ralph also made. It's like the assumption of like he sees my social channels, so he knows what I'm about, and he knows what my intentions are when posting, and it's kind of like, you don't know shit about me. You know fuck all about me if you watch my social media. And this is something that is a bit of a problem in this day and age, because even if I vlog my day, it's maybe a 20-minute clip of my whole day. You have no clue.
24 hours.
What I did. If I go golfing and you see me post a golf video, and then we always joke about it on this podcast. We're like, oh, Jay is golfing all the time. But the thing is, people actually think that. Are you still making music? Or you don't know shit about me because I posted 10 seconds.
People know what you
golfing.
tell them.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's people should also always realize, like, you just see. I just seen a video yesterday. You only see the few seconds. There's a video of a woman, and she's like, yeah, when dad has his own company and you go on holiday, and she posts a montage, and this montage is like 10, maybe 15 seconds of him walking with the kids and on his phone. And the comments are, and even myself, I was triggered. I'm like, oh, you shouldn't be on your phone. You shouldn't be like, what? And then I realized, like, this is 10 seconds of maybe the entire holiday. That's 5 times maybe he's on his phone. You know, you don't know at all how the rest of that guy's life looks like. And that's something you're gonna have a reaction. You're gonna have that instinctive reaction, but you need to realize that social media isn't real. So even if you think you know me, you really don't. But I am actually a nice guy, guys.
Yeah, but talking about what he mentioned with tracks, I think what I liked about it is that he mentioned that it's impossible to have reached the whole popularity of the planet Earth, right? So keep sharing music even when it's old, because even current fans might not know your previous work and might be surprised by the track that you released 10 years ago or 12 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I said before, and I tried to explain it more simply, and he explained it pretty simply as well. He just had some terms to hook people into his video, I guess. So I'm not assuming anything about him. Sorry, man.
He's a great artist, by the way. He's Russ.
Yeah, no, he's great. But I think it's the non-linear thing is could be an eye opener for a lot of people.
I fall in this trap as well, because I tend to think sometimes when I meet artists, like I don't have to tell that person what I did. And that's pretty arrogant. But I was like, especially in the beginning of artist coaching, when I was just transforming from being an artist to artist coaching, I was thinking like, I don't have to tell this because people know, right? And that most of the times it was the case, because those artists knew who I was. Now, 10 years later, there's a whole gap. I'm old, they are young, they don't know who I am, they haven't been there during the EDM bubble. Now I get to meet clients, which I talk about, and they're like, I have no clue who you are. Like, explain me what you've done. And then when I tell them, it's like, oh shit, I didn't know. And to me, I need to remind myself constantly of that now, that I have to keep sharing my past to give people a context window of why I do what I do and why I know what I know. And it's just what he mentions with tracks, you know, like you never have everyone at once. You need to keep sharing all the things that you've been doing in the past to educate your audience on what you're trying to achieve here and what you've been doing. So I think it was a great clip.
It's I hope it opens eyes for people, because that's of course his goal also with that video. And I think it's like I always say go to Avicii's profile on Spotify, and there's many songs where you're like, what is this? Like, this sounds horrible. And I hate to say that. I mean, but there's songs that are not that good. But it's because no one cares about your bad songs if you have a hit. There's only a few little haters that might go into those tracks, but no one really cares. And I think it used to be more linear like that. It used to be more like, oh, what have you recently done or something? And now it's more like, hey man, what can I be inspired by you now? Yeah. I don't care what you have done, in a way. Mm-hmm. That's what mostly TikTok for me stands for, which I really love that. I think I also try to approach everybody I work with, or when I get to a festival or something, I approach everybody like, hey, they could be interesting. They could be, I don't know who they are, maybe they don't know who I am, but what can we learn from each other?
This afternoon, before the podcast, I was doing like a 30-minute walk, and I was thinking like, let's listen to my own music, like the tracks from 10, 15 years old. Let's just listen. I was just curious to see like, how do I listen to those songs now? And some of those tracks, probably my most unknown tracks, I was pretty impressed. I was like, oh, this actually still stands. Yeah. You know, I was like, oh, this actually still does the job. While most of them are like 12 to 14 years old. And I was thinking like, that also got me thinking like, I should share this, you know, like I should share with people those old tracks, how bad they might sound, or how, what the mindset back then was, the sound was. But it all has to do with sharing your background, because that gives people context on what type of person you are, and the goal that you're working towards. By the way, one little thing that I want to share with the in crowd here, with everyone who's still tuned in by now, like 55 minutes into the podcast. I got one of my tracks got played at Tomorrowland Mainstage this year.
Hey, what?
12 years later. So I'm just dropping it here.
Song?
I'm just dropping it here. I'm not gonna mention anything because I'm not allowed to say anything. But
which song? You can say which song, no?
No, I can't. And I'll tell you later on why. But for those who are interested, do your research. That's all I say. But it's been pretty fun to see that 12 years later, EDM's not dead, bro.
This whole man, I wish Ralph was here so we could like fight each other.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole EDM is dead thing. No, bad music sucks. Good music is good. It's not about the style or genre. Yes, there's genres more popular, but a good track, it doesn't matter what genre. People will vibe to it, and it's like, yeah, EDM is dead. They've been saying that.
Going back to the whole Tomorrowland thing. One pattern I noticed after Tomorrowland is that many more people told me progressive is back. Progressive. Yeah. Because they've noticed that on multiple stages and multiple artists started playing those old school progressive sounds again. And the crowd actually responded pretty well. They did. That was
You can't really hate on it. I'm still going to give it a go. I wonder if there was ever in, like, let's say 2015, there was maybe one project file that everybody shared. Those guys, everybody knows what I'm talking about, I think. And they all still work from that same project file.
Yeah, it sounds the same.
It sounds the same. What I will say with that is, like, a song can do, well, three things maybe. One, sound doesn't really matter, but amazing melodies. And I'm not going to give examples because it might sound like hate, but we talked about it in a chat like last week, Joey, me, and Ralph. But if the melody is good and the idea is good, it's not like the sounds need to be really fresh and new. I think that's a misconception maybe. So that's why I'm not hating on the whole progressive thing, because there's amazing melodies and chords in there. A song can also be new sounding and with a good idea. That's amazing. That's like when you get real true new hits and breakthroughs, like if Fisher came with Losing It. That's like a kind of a new thing.
That was a cool song.
There's also the same sounding with a semi good idea or not good idea, which is where a lot of producers are always stuck in. And I think it's always not hard to see that, but sometimes if I do, like, let's check my demos, there's so many good sounding demos, but it's like, yes, it sounds good, but it isn't new and it isn't a good idea, or like
same old.
Yeah,
true.
But yeah, so I hope the progressive will also be taken to a bit of a next level.
Yeah.
Style wise, but I mean, the melodies and songs are good, and that's what makes it stand out.
True. Hey, one other announcement that I have to bring out is that we have another live feedback session going on in the Discord, because for everyone who didn't notice, we started doing live feedback sessions in the Discord where artists come by and give other artists feedback on their music. We tend to do this every month, I believe, for now. Renzo is organizing all this. And the next one is scheduled for next week. And Josh will be doing the feedback session. So Josh Letichier will be giving feedback on your music. If you want feedback from Josh, make sure to come into the Discord and drop your music there, share your music there. And Josh will go live next week to give you proper feedback on the production. If you're not aware of who Josh Letichier is, check out his socials. He's doing great at the moment. And keep an eye on that guy. He's doing well. I think he's in the chat. I'm not sure if he's still
Renzo.
here. Is he still here? No, Josh.
Oh. Renzo is it Renzo
Renzo.
Nadecchia?
Yeah, Renzo's still here, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure
I
if
just
Josh.
responded to him.
Oh, perfect. Anyway, make sure to join the Discord for those things, for the live feedback sessions, also the podcast questions and the clip of the weeks. You have anything to share?
Yes. I have a new song that came out exactly in a holiday. It's called Pictures. It's been out for almost 3 weeks. It's doing really well, streaming numbers.
Nice.
I think we're already up to 100,000 streams.
Oh, wow.
Which is huge. So yeah. So independent release. No editorial playlists, which kind of surprises. Well, it doesn't surprise me at this point anymore, but it's a bit of a shame.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool thing is I'm singing on the record myself. And I think that is I think that, well, you'll be surprised if you, so go check it out. If you're J Hardway Pictures. I'm very happy with how that turned out and the support. So
cool. And for everyone still listening right now, make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel or to Spotify or wherever you're listening, because we need those followers to build the account, to create more opportunities to actually build this community. So if you're a weekly listener, and we know you're there because we've seen you, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and follow button, because that helps us amazingly to build this whole thing.
Also, if you're an industry professional and you want to be on the podcast, hey,
hit me up.
Because a lot of people that I speak to listen to this. So, hey, if you just feel like, hey, I have something to add, hey, just DM us.
Sure. And, hit us up. Yeah. And we can see what we can do.
And also, sponsors. If you know sponsors, actually, like, that would be just cool to have a sponsor. Then we can
it would be fun.
Put more time into it, more production into it.
Also, do know that we will be back at ADE this year, and I'm working on the plans, so more information about that probably this month. So if you're going to ADE, keep like a carved space in on
Which
Friday.
Day? You have a day already, right?
Friday afternoon from 12 to 3. So carve that out of your calendar if you're planning to come to ADE, and I'll let you guys know what's coming up next.
Friday the 24th of October.
I guess so, yeah. I'm not sure.
Put it in there. Just put it in your agenda and just join us for an event.
That's it. Friday the 24th from 12 till 3, and I will let you know more about it. When,
Joey does also will do an autograph session because he's now supported Tomorrowland again. So he will kind of get back into that jet set lifestyle again.
My merch is back on track. You can buy merch.
NFT merch.
No, I got it here. I'll just...
Hey!
You can buy these for 2 Bitcoins. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's cheap.
Yeah. So
in case you're listening and you have Bitcoin, it went down so hard. 2 Bitcoin is actually worth €5 now. So it went really down in this last hour.
Exactly.
Everybody like that has Bitcoin is now like,
oh shit. Yeah. Hey guys. Also, don't forget to check out artistcoaching.nl, because there's all the information you can find about our coaching programs. And that's it for now. Looking forward to the next episode next week. And I guess Ralph will be back then as well. Thanks everyone for being a part of this live chat. I've seen all the names. I've seen all the high, how you call it? The like people commenting and stuff.
Mentions.
Yeah, mentions and stuff. Thanks Melodramatic for the insane gift. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Yep.
And we will be back next week, everybody. Have a good week. Bye-bye.